You know, being European in the League of Legends scene, it's really weird right now. I think that between NA and EU is taking strides way bigger than NA. I think that's really good. It's good for the Western scene. I think that the secondary scene is really good, and it's shown with how many good teams are coming out of EU. Of course, China and Korea has a massive secondary scene, so that's really good for them, and that's why they've developed so many good talent and good teams over the years. But to bring it back, right now we have the three final teams from EU, those being Rogue, Fnatic, and Mad Lions. I'd like to make an homage to the fallen G2. I had really high hopes for this team. I wanted Reckless to finally be on a great team that could win Worlds, and I thought this was the team that he could do it on. I think Perks' leadership is really showing that they need it because Reckless is definitely not the guy to boss people around. He wants to do his own thing, and it's showing. Like Caps is performing, Yankos is doing well. I think Mickey is still on top of his game. I think Reckless, his passiveness is showing, but like it's always been quote unquote an issue, but it's really showing with the aggressive nature of G2. And Wonder was a problem. And we'll talk about this another time during the offseason. But I wanted to give a homage to them, an honorable mention. Really wanted to pay my respects because I wanted them to continue, and sadly, they are now eliminated. Okay, we'll go through the top three teams. Mad Lions being the favorites. It's not something I would have thought I'd say. Armut coming from Turkey. Last year he did a great showing at Worlds, and now he's showing that he can punch it out with the rest of the EU boys. El Yoya. I can't say his name ever. El Yoya. Showing that he's really good. I think Humanoid, Karzi, Kaiser, El Yoya, and Armut are like all top three in their role. Each of them, they're really good. I think they're top three in the role. Maybe top four, but definitely on the upper end of things. I think Karzi is a very good weak side ADC. He's doing well, so that El Yoya can play toward Armored and Humanoid. Kaiser also can roam because of that. I think they're a solid team. I think they're the best team to come out of EU right now. I think they're looking good. The fact that they beat Rogue, and I thought Rogue was the best team in EU until I saw what they did to Rogue. It's really showing. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I have high expectations. I think they're going to win EU now by the looks of it. They had a good showing in MSI, I think. In my opinion, it was pretty decent. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. Only problem with them, it's not really a problem, but my biggest criticism for them is they don't have star power. Like, you have Caps and Perks in G2 in the old days, and then like you always had Reckless and Fnatic, or used to. But like, no one on this team makes me want to root for them, you know? Like, I love the team as a whole. I think they're a solid team, but they don't have this like person that I really want to like rely on, want to like root for. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. That's how I feel. They're a great team, but there's no one I particularly love, unlike other teams in Europe who I'll get to. So yeah, good luck to them. I think they're going to win EU, and I think they're pretty solid. I think they can fight for semifinals this year, maybe even farther, but we'll see. Okay, moving on to Rogue before I talk about the elephant in the room being Fnatic. I think this team is really good. I think Ottawamne inspired Larson, Hansama, and Trimby is good. I think Trimby is probably their weakest link, but in the emotional sense, I think that he has shown that he can get too emotional and too caught up in things that he loses his play and probably gets affected most by the losses in tight situations. So I think he is the weakest point. I don't know. They kind of got dismantled by Mad Lions, even though it's like sort of close, sort of not really. I don't know. We'll see. I really think Inspired can be that carry if he can step it up, get a good meta. I think Ottawamne is like up there with Alfari. Well, Alfari is not here anymore. But, he's in NA, and we'll talk about him later. But I think Ottawamne is solid on the weak side. Though you can play towards Hansama being an absolute carry of an ADC. Yeah, these two carries are inspired in Hansama, and I think those are really two reliable sources to come from. But Ottawamne and Larson being really good support, not really support, more like secondary carries with Trimby trying to be the catalyst. And I think this is a really good dynamic. I think they can do well. They play clean league when they can, but I think what might get them is the individual 1v1s, the mechanics. I think they might get out mechanicked by the better teams in the worlds. So we'll see what happens. Um, yeah, so far that's all I can say about them. I really want them to win worlds. I don't think they can win worlds, but I really want them to do well. I think all three European teams can do well. Okay, and then lastly, definitely not least, Fnatic. God, how this team is so weird. Last year we had Bwipo, Self-Made, Nemesis, Reckless, and Hylissang. The only one left in his position is Hylissang, and the other person still on that team is Bwipo, who's moved to jungler. I think Bwipo is incredibly smart. I think he fits the jungle role, but I still think he's a better top laner. I think Adam is really good, solid. Like he's solid, and he kind of exposed Wonder in that G2 series. I think Niski's an amazing secondary mid laner. He doesn't need to be a like main carry. He can do his thing in the bot lane. And Upset Hylissang is just godlike together. I think they're great. Um, but yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do. I think out of the three teams in EU, they're by far the worst. I think G2 was even worse than them, which is saying something given their star power. But yeah, this team don't have high hopes for them. I think Upset and Hilly can try to do something, and Hilly can do his like mega 50-50 plays that really go in his favor or not. But you know, don't have high hopes for them. I think Bwipo's smart. I don't know. They're a bloodthirsty team and they can catch teams off guard in worlds, and I think that'll be their biggest leverage point. They can use that point to find some openings in teams that aren't used to playing this dirty, scrappy kind of play, and they can make an opening there. Honestly, I hope that they do well, because if they don't, it really shines badly on G2, honestly. And I love G2, and I'm kind of a G2 fanatic, so I feel bad. I love Fnatic for years, but I think I really like Reckless more. A lot of people are. But I think this team can do well. I think Adam needs to work on his. I don't think Adam needs to work on his laning phase, because Wonder was able to keep up with the top people last year easily. So I think Adam can. I just find him out of place a lot. I don't know. It just doesn't. He doesn't mesh with the team as well as I would hope. But maybe these things can get down and dirty soon. Maybe Hilly and Upset can provide an upset. Okay, stop. I need to stop.